And welcome back, everybody. This is Jim Grisanzio from Oracle Code 1 in San Francisco, and I'm here with Kevin Frechette. Kevin.
Hey, Jim.
It was nice to meet you. Thank you very much. Did I get your name right?
Kevin Frechette. Yeah.
Frechette. Okay, so I messed it up again. It's just this all the time. I'm really interested to talk to Kevin here because Kevin's company is a part of the Oracle Tech Startup Program. And I understand it's a very interesting program. I've done a couple of interviews here, actually, at previous conferences on the program. So let's start off with what is the Oracle Tech Startup Program, and how does your company actually fit into this?
Yeah, so we joined the Tech Startup Program probably about a year ago. They went on, they looked for different startups that were bringing AI, ML, just innovative technologies into the Oracle world. From a resources perspective, they've been incredible. They've helped us out with analyst interviews. We're at this event right now. I will say in our section, in our wing, there's no kegerators and Pac-Man like you have over here. But overall, it's still an amazing spot.
Yeah, I know. We got all these video games over here, and
it's absolutely absurd.
And we got this cluster over here, this Pi cluster.
Yeah. I heard about it earlier. But yeah, I mean, it's been not just the credibility that Oracle brings to Fairmarkit, it's also the resources, because most of our customers are Oracle, whether on-prem with PeopleSoft, JDE, or in Fusion from the application suite. So they've just been great from a development perspective, helping us with that data flow to and from the platforms.
Cool. So how long have you been involved in the program?
It's about a year now. We joined. The team's incredible. Shout out across the board to Nico, Jason, everyone. They've been awesome.
Cool. And where are you guys based?
So we're based in Boston.
Oh, Boston. Okay. I spent 12 years, I think, or so in Boston.
It's we going through the fundraising process, wrapping up right now, but the San Fran versus Boston market is very different, even from the perception of companies in Boston, but we love it. It's a great tech community. MIT, we have Harvard, we have Northeastern across the board. It really allows us to pull, whether it's MBAs, interns, or full-time hires from a developer perspective.
And many people aren't aware of that in terms of Boston. If you have to live in Boston, actually, I grew up in New York, so Boston is so small compared to New York. However, the education market in Boston, the number of universities there is just stunning. I mean, there's just so many students in Boston. I mean, the talent must be overwhelming.
It's incredible. And whether it's working, like I said, with Harvard, with MIT, I will give a shout out to UMass Amherst, my alma mater. Yep. But overall, we're growing rapidly as a company. We're looking to go from 50 people to 100. And a big piece of that is adding from developer, data science. It's really doubling down on the tech.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk about your company specifically in terms of the technologies that you're leveraging and how you are, serving customers in your market.
Yeah, so we're an ML-based SaaS platform. We work with large enterprises. The problem that we solve is that a very large enterprise, they don't want to put humans to take time sourcing purchases, say under 500K. It's called their tail spend. They want their team managing strategic initiatives, RFPs, large sourcing projects, so they turn to us to automate the process, optimize who they source from, what the price is, make sure it's a trusted vendor, push it back into their environment, into their process flow. So the core value triggers we hit on is cost savings, number one, making sure that we can save usually 10 to 15%. Time savings is a huge one that I'd like to talk about later, just on how we're augmenting humans from the process. Mm-hmm. But it really comes back to data. The world we live in is a world of procurement. And there's so many data points that are accessible, especially with the evolution of first digitalizing procurement and then going to the cloud. We haven't seen procurement solutions to date that are looking at it from an ML perspective and saying, how do we put that data to work? How do we automate and optimize? And that's the core of what we do.
So, okay, so that's a really good summary of the company and the technologies. Let's talk a little bit about how you do a startup, because I've only worked for huge corporations like this. All right, I worked at Sun, I worked at 3Com, I worked at, obviously, Oracle. Very, very large companies. And I'm really not familiar with what the atmosphere is like in a startup, the risks that you have to take, you obviously running the company, how you hire people from scratch. How do you start a team from nothing, basically?
Yeah, I'd say a couple things. One, you have to be scrappy. So you have to be able to just get your hands dirty to get it done and to bring other people that are very similar. Two, I think you have to hire and look for people that have the same core values that you want to instill in the company as you grow. It's not hard when you have 5, 10 people to have those core values, have the community, but as you go to 25, 50, it's making sure that you really keep those. And the final way is just bring in leaders. It's bringing people that want to grow, they want to take on more accountability. And it doesn't have to be someone that's a seasoned veteran. It can be someone that's just hungry, willing to learn. And I'd say the final thing is just listening to customers. For us, it's always been a go out, talk to people, get feedback, understand what are the real problems, what are the challenges, and then look to architect a technology around it, not the other way around. So we've been a very customer-first organization.
Now, are most of you people based in Boston right now?
So it's a mix-up. We have Boston as our headquarters, and then we have the tech team in Belarus. Our CTO, Victor Kush, absolute rock star. He came from Belarus. But what we found is that not only is it cost-effective, also in Belarus, we noticed that the engineers and developers, they're not an inch deep and a mile wide. They're wildly focused in their specific space or vertical.
Really?
So what we've really put a big effort into that, but looking forward into next year, we are going to be scaling the team heavily in the U.S. as well.
Okay, so in terms of growth and scale, are there specific regions in the U.S. that you're looking at, that you want to be at?
Right now we're central to Boston, but we're open to a very remote organization as well. We understand that the right people might not always be in your city, and with different communications that are available, it's really not a bottleneck. Although we do see value in having like the core group together, because you have the momentum, you have the instant feedback. I think that is important.
Right. Okay, so you mentioned a lot of technologies that you mentioned earlier. A lot of these are based on open source projects, and you're obviously hiring engineers, and you have a development team over in Europe. Talk a little bit about maybe some of the technologies in terms of how your developers are working with open source communities. Are they involved in these communities at all?
Yeah, we've been a wildly cloud-first organization, very heavily leveraging the open source network. We do push on our team, and they do it organically, is just to give back, to participate, whether it's bug fixing, whether it's the channels, the forums, just making sure that as we keep growing, as we're leveraging like the resources, we're helping to build them up as well. And the other thing is just be flexible and cloud first, whether it's building on Kubernetes, Docker's environments. We are looking more and more at how do we keep that open flow with our customers. OCI is a big factor of that. So for us, it's continuously looking at it as like a new age tech, as opposed to what have companies done for the last 20 years.
Right, okay, cool. Okay, so you've been at this show for a couple of days now, and I assume you've done a couple of presentations or,
a couple analyst reviews. We've talked to an incredible amount of prospects.
Really?
Larry Ellison's speech was at Monday afternoon. The autonomous database, the autonomous cloud. It's something that resonates with our entire company heavily. The idea that we're taking humans out of the equation, and not only do it from a cost perspective, but doing it from a performance perspective. De-risking, having humans make mistakes. We see that exact same thing in our space. For us, procurement by nature has been very time consuming, very manual. If you look at the tail spend in procurement, it's even more. It's tens of thousands of transactions, tens of thousands of vendors, but it's a very solvable problem via technology. So our approach, similar to what Larry's talking about, is how do we use that data now? How do we put on top different levels of machine learning, of AI, to get to a better business outcome? Because for us, the real point why people bring in technology is to hit KPIs. And whether it's cost savings, time, whether it's control, but without those KPIs, really, it's not even a conversation.
All right, interesting. Okay, well, Kevin, you're very excited about all this. You sound really, really excited. That you're really, really driving this. Kind of interested a little bit about you. What drives you? Because you really seem like you're really driving this.
You know what?
And I don't know what. Actually, I don't know what the word to say. But I'm just looking for a little bit of, what actually moves you.
So. For me, it's the fact that as a company, we've uncovered this incredible market that has tons of data, a massive opportunity to impact change, and it's very underserved. So for me now, it's how do we build the team, and how do you help people to be able to accelerate their careers, accelerate their skill sets to help our customers within the space. Right. So what kind of gets me out of bed in the morning is the fact that we're taking the industry and we're flipping on its head. And although we're young, we're new as a company, we're being trusted by some very large organizations, a lot of Oracle customers, companies like Univision Communications, who has always done something the same way the last 10, 15 years, great Oracle customer, has trusted us to fully automate a process for them. So it's been the question of, do you outsource it to a BPO, business process outsourcer, which a lot of the industry is doing, or do you automate it on-prem and just do it via technology? And because we're able to leverage some of the new ML-based technologies for whether it's classification of purchases, could be vendor recommendations, vendor ranking, it's allowed us to truly deliver on those KPIs and to make our champions with these accounts very successful, back to their GM, to their CFO, to their CEO. And for us, like if our champions win, our customers win, then we win. That's it. That's the golden ticket there.
Cool. Okay, I think you mentioned you have 50 people now?
Yeah, 50 people.
And what is your growth projection kind of, goals basically for the next couple of years?
Yeah, so next year we're looking to get to 100 by the end of the year, and then about 150 by the end of 2021.
That seems like pretty steady and rapid growth there.
Yeah, it's been an exciting last 3 years.
Yeah.
So we're still in heavy growth phase. We're learning a lot as we go, but we're also structuring it more and more. So for a lot of our customers and working with the Oracle team, we can be much more prescriptive when we're going into an account and saying, hey, this is how we've seen other organizations do it. Specifically on the tech side, though, I mean, it's a constant push to make sure that we're not only keeping up with what our customers are looking for, but we're predicting what's next. And for us, like as long as our tech continues to push the envelope, we're kind of pulling our customers along this digitalization strategy.
Right.
Where I know Oracle's doing it, where you get in, you're building out your suites even on-prem, and now you're starting to do it out in the cloud. It doesn't happen overnight, just like with our customers. Not overnight do you fully automate, fully convert,
Right.
but you show them the path. It's a phased approach.
Right. Cool. Well, Kevin, it was great to have you here. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you having me.
Am I leaving anything out? Is there anything else that you need to say? Or have we covered it all?
I'll do a shameless plug. We are hiring
plug.
50 more people.
Okay, well, that's a lot.
A lot of developers in Boston.
In Boston.
So
yeah.
feel free to reach out to Fairmarkit.
What kind of developers specifically?
Across the board.
Okay.
We're building out the team. We've doubled down heavily in Belarus to start. Now we're bringing it back to the U.S. We'll be having both teams. So we're looking to build the core infrastructure right now. And like I said, if you're interested, feel free to reach out. Love to talk to you.
Cool. Developers in Boston, he's your man.
Or if you're willing to move. Yeah.
Cool. Kevin, thanks a lot. I actually really appreciate it. We'll be back here for 2 or 3 more interviews. I'm starting to stutter now, so I'm getting tired. And we'll be back here shortly. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it, Jim.